Well, welcome to Perfect, the Cirrus 40 deck saloon, number 17, out of northern Germany with Cirrus yachts. We've been waiting ages for the Starlink to arrive here in St. Martin in the Caribbean. Upon purchasing, within a few days we got the flat mount, but I've been waiting just about 3 months to actually get the main Starlink panel. There's a difference here to the normal insofar as this is the enhanced version, the high definition, $2,500 overall. Be prepared to wait for the main component. When the initial box arrived, within a few days of placing the order, I was curious what it was, and I did open it, but it's just really the flat wedge mount, which is supposed to help on top of RVs and things like that. So there's a few bits and pieces that I have seen before, and the Starlink wedge mount kit, which is little more than a bracket that's going to hold the panel presumably, and a few other fittings to help with the installation. That, I believe, is more to do with the fitting onto the back of the panel itself. So it remains to be seen exactly what we get in the main box, which is what I'll be unboxing now. Now this box was opened because I was curious what was in it, but the main Starlink box hasn't yet been opened at all, and the sellotape seals were original. There's no other marks around them, and they've not been cut at all, and there's 4. You can see all 4 on the top, so presumably that's the way in which it'll open up. Oh no, there's some more. There's another 2 sellotapes there which are original and haven't been damaged at all. By the way, I had to carry this one quite a way from the DHL office, and it's 30.5 pounds in weight. The difference between this and the earlier versions, which are very much the majority, that they came in a box which is a different shape and a different size. I estimate that the earlier versions came in boxes that were probably around about 300mm by 250 by about 800mm in length. So it's a totally different packing for this later and higher performance kit. So this one, I'll tell you, measures, I think it's 68 centimeters that way, 62 centimeters that way, and 200 high. Okay, the grand opening now. Not sure, yeah, it's going to open from the top. That's going to be the peel out piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think it's going to open the wrong way as far as the camera is concerned, so I'll turn it round. This is upside down, obviously, you can see. Right, lots of polystyrene to get rid of. No, it's not. It's actually plastic formed cover. It's not polystyrene. Wow, the disc is certainly huge, isn't it? Let's just get a measurement on that. That is 51.5 by 58, and I can see what the wedge mount kit is all about now. And there it is the other way up. See the writing now, there we go. I don't know if you can see that. Looks like we've got a remote control. Wedge mount, 8 degrees. That's for the wedge mount that we've got, plus the wiring connections to the router and power supply. Okay, so there's the piece of kit itself. I would say overall that's probably double the surface area of the rest of the Starlink kits that I've seen on other boats. Now in the box, some more information: high performance power supply and Wi-Fi mount, regulatory notices, and Starlink. I do notice that there is no tripod here at all, so I think I'm going to have some fun actually installing this. Not going to be quite the norm that I've seen on other boats. So that's the paperwork for the moment. Obviously connection cables. One looks very much like a standard Ethernet 8 core, and I think I recognize the color code pattern in the back with orange and white, orange, white and green, blue, white and blue, green, white and brown. That's the standard that I'm aware of, and that's to the original USB mini. Moving on, continental power supply cable, perhaps with a plug-in, and that's for the power supply, and the other one is the router itself, continental power supply, and they seem fairly rigidly linked together. Let's have a look at the router. There's the router. When I say rigidly linked together, I'm not sure yet whether or not either of the cables can be unplugged from the router. Certainly looks... No, actually I think the router itself will come out of the holder, and once it comes out of the holder, here we go. There's the holder and router separately. Now it does look like they will unplug from there. So it's a bit of a beast to install by the looks of it. Looks like I'm going to be supplying internet connection to the rest of the marina. Anyway, let's not do too much with that at this time. And then the power supply, which I can probably hide away somewhere if I can find a place for it. Similar idea, we've got a clip where the actual power supply comes out, I think, of the holder. Oh, there we go. So there's your mounting kit, and there is the power supply. It's certainly a bit of a beast. If I get my glasses I could read it off to you, but I'm not so sure that anyone's particularly interested in that. There's also a separate ground connection here, and as I was warned, the cabling is you have to use the cabling that you're supplied with. I think you can, if you're a little bit more fly than I was, order different lengths of cabling, but I've got this length, whatever this length actually turns out to be. And that's not in any way familiar to me. It's like the miniature USB, but it's only got one chamfer on one corner, and I'm going to have to get from the looks like I'm going to have to get from the dish itself, or the panel, down to the power supply and then on to the router. Well, as far as the unboxing is concerned, I don't think there's anything else here to talk about. Another plastic panel. If I just lift it a bit. Nope, nothing else at all underneath that. So it's just the cabling, the panel, a couple of extra, that'll take the Ethernet into the mini USB, and a connection information. Well, I hope that this has been recorded properly by the phone or the video, and good luck to you. I'll maybe do an update when I've got this installed somehow or the other. Thanks then, bye bye for now.